Okay, let's put this roof on. Before we do that, there is a step that we probably omitted before. This little step here that's sort of hidden on this page, and that's to now go through and reduce the height of the ceiling to 2700 instead of the default, which should be 4000 in theory. Just double check back on our drawing here. How do we find out what that is? Well, the section should be on there. You can change it at the section, you can change it at any of the elevations. That's where your levels are, and it's all linked in. So you can just change one, changes them all. If I click on here once, then click on here again, it will give me that number there to change. So 2700 is what we want, and enter. If we did this right initially and our walls were attached to that level, it will just bring them all down to the new level. Alright, so that's a minor little step. Now we can, and you can do this, it doesn't matter when you do this, you can do this anytime. We'll attach the roof, but if you didn't do this and you did put the roof on, you can always do it afterwards. There's no big deal. Alright, so let's moving on to adding the roof. This is what we're going to do. The idea is that we're going to draw a roof by footprint. Normally, well, the roof should be put on level 1, but I always forget and put it on level ground or something like that. And then he says to me, do you want to really want to put it on ground level? Not really. So you're going to put it on level 1. So if that pops up, yes, accept that you should put it on level 1, because chances are you're in the wrong level when you're drawing it. We're going to duplicate an existing generic roof and make another generic roof. That's 180, because the default one is about 400 or something like that. It's pretty thick. Our 180 roof will be made up of these little components inside it, which add up to 180. So it's going to be the main structure, which is basically the rafters. They're going to be 90 deep. We're going to have some sort of a membrane. So this is the actual structure. So that's in between these sort of bold sections. So we're going to, above the rafters, we're going to have a membrane. So that's located basically 0 millimeters, which I don't know why. It's got to be probably at least 0.1 millimeter thick, surely. But anyhow, it's something to just sort of a membrane for the water or the moisture not to drip down onto your ceiling. Then we're going to nail some battens on top of that, which are 70. This is getting into the construction, which don't really need to know surveyors, but just explaining what that does. Above that again, we'll probably have a thing called sarking, another membrane, and then it's a roof sheeting, which is about 20 millimeters. So overall, it's 180 thick. But we don't just go in and type in 180. We actually make it up out of all these little components to become 180. So that's what we're going to do. And in the end, it just says here 180, but that comes from what you put over here on the left. All right, so let's do that. Come back here. All right, so back to, as I said, if you do start off the ground, which normally most people do, just notice this is not quite the right plan because it hasn't got the openings in here, but we won't worry about it for this example. All right, so let's go with putting the roof on. As I go to the roof here by footprint, click that. In my instance, I'm not going to save it. Okay, so again, that note comes up. Yes, I want to put it on level 1 really. So I should have been in here really, that level here on the left. So yes, level 1 please. So it'll drop it onto level 1 for us. What it does here, it says the base level is level 1 right here. So you can change it manually beforehand yourself if you're in ground floor anyway. So, but generally we're just sketching it over this floor here, but it's going to draw it on level 1. So let's see, what else do we have to change here? I don't think there's much to change. What we need to do, because I picked the roof, it automatically came with this basic roof of 400, but of course you can pick any other, I could start off with generic 125, but even that's not right. So let's go with that and edit the type and just edit this bit here. So that's how you get to this. And what we're going to do here, as I said, that's 90. And then we're going to insert a layer, which is going to be moved up above here. So we're getting it to look like this. And this is going to be a vapor retention sort of material or a membrane. So let's go to back here. And we'll change it from structure 1 to membrane. Okay, and what is it going to be? Again, as I said to you before, like when doing the concrete, you can just search in here. So you can just type in vapor, see what comes up. I just type in VAPO, for example, and that came up. So that's basically what we, so it's a vapor retarder. Sorry, so if we go to that, puts that in there. And then we're going to insert another one. Immediately that goes above that one, so it's all happening for us now. We don't have to really move it up. That's going to be timber. So just TI for timber. Timber. There you go, timber. So basically just pick that up and insert another one here. It's going to be a membrane roofing EP, so another membrane of some sort. Here is going to be roofing, typing roof and see what comes up. Roofing EP, and it probably goes DM membrane. So this one here is the one you want. So okay, that's it there, roofing. And then we want some roof sheeting. So insert that one, and that's going to be finish 1. This one here. And then we're going to go to what's that going to be? Metal roof. So typing metal there, nothing comes up because I'm typing METT. So there you go, metals there. That will do. And go OK. Alright, so again, I haven't been putting any numbers next to this, so I better fix that up before I go ahead. 20 should be for that one, and I needed to do that one as 70 as well. You can do it any time. And let's go OK. Alright, so 180 is the thickness now. That's what that looks like, basically. Alright, so OK that. Now we've got ourselves a new roof we can use. Again, if this was set up in your own office, you normally would have this all set up in your template file, and you wouldn't have to really muck around at this stage. Alright, so what we want to make sure is that there is a extend to wall core tick in here, and that it is 760 millimeters as the overhang. It is 760 because, and I can't zoom in there now, but it's allowing for the 50 millimeter cavity, 110 for the brick, so it's 160. So in effect, from the face of the brickwork, we're getting 600 overhang because the core is actually inside in the middle of the wall there, which is where the studs are. All right, so that's where it's getting it from. All right, so really what we need to do here now, we can really just put our cursor over the top of this and use the usual trick of tabbing, because we are on the pick walls option here, which is what we want to be on. So we can actually use this little trick where we'll go tab and oops, well, maybe we can't. Sorry, that won't work. So we're going to have to click on each one of these and just get that happening. Make sure your overhang is on the correct side. Alright, so there it is. Now at this stage here, I can change the, I take a little shortcut and change my slope to be 22.5 degrees, because I don't think we've done that yet. Somewhere in here it is mentioned it's 22.5 degrees. But so we can change this thing here to 22.5 there on that section there under slope, and enter that. So that now is 22.5 degrees. If I finish my roof now this end here, remember, it's going to be a gable end, but we haven't done that yet. But let's just have a look what we've got so far. Alright, so if I go to my 3D, that's what I've got. So on the side that hasn't got a door, it's got to be gable end. At this point it's just a hip roof. All right, so here it's got to be the gable end. So you see what I mean in a minute. Those of you that don't know what a gable is as such. So let's, you can do this from here. You can just click on there and you can edit the footprint, and you can just click on this line here, just zoom in a bit, this one here, all right, and just don't go changing this to 0 degrees, because that's not what you want to do. You want to take the defined slope tick off. You can take it off here as well. It doesn't matter where you do it. It works. They're all the same. They're linked. See that? All right. So that's all you have to do, and just go tick again. All right. So now that's a gable end. All right. It's a gable. Although it's got a hole in it, we can fix that up. All right. So what you need to do is just click on the wall here, and that will present you with this attach top base button, and then you just click on that, then select the roof as your top base, and that will bring it up there. And we did a bit of this in the first lectures and we were mucking around a bit. All right, so that's that. Now what else do we need to do with this? We've done the gable end. Now be careful with this. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but if you zoom in here and you really have a look, there is a bit of a gap there. But we're not going to worry about that. You could attach this wall up to the base as well, but we'll leave that. Normally we will close that in with a soffit or something like that. I'm not going to get into that. We don't need to worry about that now. That's just details. So basically we've done step 7 now, which is down here, which it says edit the footprint and change all slopes to be 22.5 degrees. All we did, we changed it before we pressed the tick beforehand, but if you want to change it afterwards, it's as simple as clicking on that, each one of those pink lines after you edit the footprint, and going and changing it. So I can show you that if you want to do it afterwards, how you would do it. Edit the footprint, highlighting the roof, and you can click on each one of these, and if it doesn't say 22.5 degrees, you could go and change it there, and you could do each one. Alright, so that's that. I'll leave that, because that's how you would do that if you did it afterwards. Alright. Now over here, we've just done the attaching of the roof already. We've done all these bits just then. Alright. And this thing here is a bit of an error there. It's a throwback to a previous version of notes. But substitute where it says ceiling level with level 1. Our one is called level 1. Or you can, if you want to match the notes, you can rename this thing here. Right click and rename this to be called ceiling level, for example. But neither here or there, it's your ceiling level that we're after, and level 1 is where your ceiling is on in this drawing. Alright, so where else have we done here? Okay, so if we have a look at this here, what's it saying there? Yeah, that's if this is to correct things if you got things wrong. In other words, if we have a look at our section here, and if I just change this so it's not shaded from here, maybe hidden line, just zoom in here, and again, if you've got thick lines on, like if your lines look like that, just press this button here or type in TL for thin lines, thin or thick lines, just it's a toggle. Alright, make sure that that's your pitching point there, that corner of the stud and the roof. Sometimes the pitching point is over here on the brickwork and things are not right. That's usually when, if I go to the roof here and I edit the footprint, okay, let's do it in level 1, is when you click on this thing here, is when you didn't click extend into wall core when you first created your roof. So that's that just tells you how to fix that up. Alright, so we might leave that there. We still need to do the fascia, so I'll do that in the next recording. Okay.